It's all about the birds this week, quite literally at Paul Childerley's shoot in Bedfordshire, where he hosts a Ladies' Day.
It's interesting when everything revolves around birds.
Meanwhile, on the edge of the Cairngorms, Elliot Roberts is trying out a new Browning shotgun.
Quite a lot of cartridges on the floor. But yeah, no, really nice.
In Fieldtester, James Head from Crackshot compares his two top-selling PCPs. Which one does he like for what?
So, Weihrauch for the farmyard and the S510 for the farm.
David brings you the news on the new stump. James uncovers the best YouTube hunting films from this week's Hunting YouTube. Welcome to Fieldsports Britain.
It's a classic winter's day here in the Bedfordshire countryside. Dogs running all around us, whistles being blown here at Childerley Sporting. What a fantastic atmosphere. But today it's a little bit different because today it's all about the women. Before a day battling some blustery winds and sorting out some really tricky birds, it's time for the draw. Peg numbers are decided and then it's on to the gun bus. So today is all about pheasants, partridges and potentially later on ducks. This is a 120 bird day. We have 9 guns on show today and we've got 4 drives to look forward to. This is the first drive of the day. The boss, Paul Childerley, standing back. This time it's down to the women who've been invited along for this annual event. Days like this are designed to give them the chance to get involved in a sport which is still dominated by men. A game shooting census for guns on pegs in 2021 showed women remain a huge statistical minority as game shots. It found 96% of shotgun certificate holders in the UK are men. That 4% of female shots, though, is still 35,000 people. Perhaps it's no surprise an innovator like Paul is providing opportunities like this to try to close the gender gap. The quality of shooting is clear to see too. So, how did you find the first one?
Yeah, the first drive was good. It's always an interesting one because you have to get used to how you're shooting on the day because it's never linear for any shoot day. But no, first one was good. Birds were flying high, good mix of partridge and pheasant. So yeah, very enjoyable.
What's your sort of experience level, Sophie?
So I grew up, my family ran a small shoot, only put down about 1,000 birds a year. And then obviously Fraser's a gamekeeper here. So I've kind of, from this side of things, gone through the experience all the way from doing the feeding to helping fix pens and stuff.
So it's your life really, isn't it?
Yeah, it basically is now. It's interesting when everything revolves around birds, so you can't go out without knowing when the birds have next got to be fed. But no, it's really enjoyable and it's great to have everybody out today and actually seeing what all the hard work is for. So yeah, really enjoying it.
So ladies, just wondering your experience levels coming to a shoot like this. What's your sort of experience?
I've only been doing it the last few years, properly, like formally, but I grew up on a farm, so I've done like pigeons and stuff most of my life, but I've never really done game shoots until probably the last 3 years.
I started clay shooting and then slowly got into this. I actually saw one of Paul's shoots on Instagram, so that's how I started trying to find game shoots.
So Paul, talk us through the idea behind having the Ladies' Day in the first place. What was the thinking?
Good question, actually. It's just to give them an opportunity to be in the field without the pressure of maybe men in the field and just have a nice relaxed day and enjoy the sport, really. And also, it gives a different dynamic of the day, you know, a bit more relaxed atmosphere and, it's just basically give them the opportunity to have a nice relaxed day together.
With 2 drives done and 2 remaining, it's time for a very civilised lunch. Paul's estate's famous for deer stalking, so no surprise there's venison on the menu. After lunch it's back out for the final 2 drives. The weather's playing a part, enough to make the birds more challenging. fascinating process this, you know. I think the ladies are really enjoying themselves. What we've seen so far though, it's been quite tricky. There's a really nasty, chilly wind blowing from over on the left-hand side, which is pushing the partridges across at a heck of a pace. Is this something that we need to bring into the sport a little bit more, getting more of these things going on?
For sure, yeah, for sure. I think we need to go power, get them going, and support each other as well, and then we can all come on days, because it's quite daunting. There's lots of men and they're shooting high, and yeah, so it's...
Is that because of the level of expertise they have, you think?
Oh yeah, they're super shots, yeah.
So it's just practice and experience then?
Definitely, yeah, more practice. More days like this, get us out, build our confidence on our pegs on our own.
Good, it's good to see Trina shoot on her own, because usually we share a peg, she comes with me, so yeah, and it's nice to see the ladies get out and sort of get a bit of shooting on their own.
She seems to know what she's doing.
She does, yeah, it's a little bit worrying, to be honest with you. Seems to be a lot more women shooting now than there used to be, which is always a good thing, you know, because that just, it opens it up to everybody, and that's what we want.
This is Toby Austin.
This isn't his first shoot either, is it?
No, we've done lots of beating. So his dad, my partner, is Sam, he's the head keeper here, so he's going to grow up doing this.
He doesn't seem at all phased.
No.
It's fantastic.
No, he loves it.
The mark of a great day shooting is that this one is coming to a close all too quickly. As darkness closes in, the degree of difficulty ramps up. The duck are high. So to finish, the bag is 132 birds. A gun average of 13 each, 34 pheasants, 63 partridge and 35 duck in the bag. What a brilliant day all round.
Thanks, Andy, for that report. Now, in this week's Fieldsports Extra, we have a falconer with a good idea, an awful lot of deer, and a hunter with another good idea.
We're a minority group. We're being discriminated against. Please, legal system of UK, represent our case.
Also in Fieldsports Extra, we are giving away spy point trail cams worth hundreds, kindly donated by both Gun Shop Vale Field and Game in Leicestershire and Bailey's Shooting and Country Wear in Staffordshire. Link to both of those below. Easiest way to win is to watch Fieldsports Extra, which goes out the night before this show, only to Fieldsports members. Easiest way to watch Fieldsports Extra is to join those members, the Fieldsports Nation, and we'll send you a goodie box, link below. Next up, back to Fieldsports Britain, and from hidden cameras to crouching newscasters, it's David on the Fieldsports Channel News Stump.
This is Fieldsports Channel News. A new survey finds that Europeans are not against hunting tourism. YouGov surveyed more than 7,000 people. Despite claims from anti-hunting groups that 85% of people are against international hunting, YouGov finds that only 23% disagree with keeping animal parts or trophy hunting, while 77% either approve or are neutral. The survey was commissioned by the European Federation for Hunting and Conservation and supported by Safari Club International.
FACE, as well as several other sustainable use organizations, including Safari Club International, led this research together with YouGov to prove that 85% of Europeans are not against trophy imports, but actually only 23% of Europeans are against this, which is a huge difference.
European farming protests are ramping up. A rural workers' demo in Ballater in Scotland on Monday the 22nd of January 2024 went ahead, despite the Scottish Government cancelling the visit of First Minister Hamza Yousaf and Green Minister Lorna Slater because of the weather. The turnout of angry farmers in tractors mirrors protests in Berlin, with tractors blocking the German capital. The French are also taking part with this Flambeau des Tracteurs. The French and Germans are campaigning about a range of issues, including food imports. Thanks to Richard Walton for the story. A campaign to change Scotland's controversial wildlife and moor burn bill has won an extra fortnight to try and change MSP's minds. 1,000 Basque members in Scotland signed a letter urging changes to the bill, which is described as unworkable and impractical. The bill wants a ban of muirburn and to bring in a licensing system for grouse moors. A hearing was due to take place this week, but has now been postponed until next month while the government examines evidence.
BASC will be monitoring the progress of the bill until that date, briefing MSPs ahead of that postponed date.
East Midlands Airport is facing 6 criminal charges relating to alleged pollution of the River Trent. The Environment Agency is bringing the case following complaints from Derby Railway Angling Club. It cites pollution from drainage into the river in 2021 and 2022. The prosecution comes after a sustained campaign from Fish Legal. A team of rowers, including 2 Fieldsports Channel members, have finished 9th in a 3,000-mile transatlantic rowing race. These pictures show former soldier Tom Atkinson and serviceman Paul Rodenite arriving in Antigua to an emotional welcome after 40 days, 3 hours and 31 minutes at sea. They're part of a 4-man crew who set off in the race in early December as part of the world's toughest row. They hope to have raised more than £10,000 for charity. 6 months after it was feared that United Utilities would ban shooting on its land, the water company is winning praise for its common sense approach. The largest water company in the UK announced in 2023 that it did not plan to renew shooting leases on its land, prompting calls for a review from BASC. Now a consultation is underway, which BASC say it is conducting with common sense, with evidence presented to show how shooting is good for conservation. People who steal dogs or cats could face 5 years in jail when new government legislation comes into force. A new law relating to pet theft has been discussed since 2021. The new bill outlawing pet abduction has now had its first reading in Parliament and was passed unopposed. The government has delayed plans to force house builders to do more to restore wildlife. Its flagship nature positive legislation was announced as part of the 2021 Environment Act. Developers were to be told to create 10% more new habitat for wildlife when they build. Now the future of that policy is in doubt. And finally, even vegans are attacking Chris Packham over his latest advertising campaign. The BBC TV presenter took to X, formerly Twitter, to talk up a fake milk brand made out of rice. They were especially angry that the rice comes from Cambodia, with non-vegans pointing out that cows make the stuff in the UK. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.
Now, Elliot Roberts gets lovely guns to try from Browning, and today he has a lovely place to try the latest one. Browning shooter Elliot Roberts is a lucky fellow. He's got his hands on Browning's brand new 525 Composite, and he's taking it out at driven pheasants on the glorious Lair shoot on the edge of Scotland's Cairngorms National Park. With its matte black stock and modern engraving, this isn't a typical driven game gun. Today is Elliot's first chance to try it out, and he's keen to see how it shoots.
It's only just arrived, and it'll be my kind of first outing with it. So it's the new 525 Composite. Out of the box, it looks lovely. We'll just have to see how I get on with it. But yeah, I think it's probably aimed more towards the kind of rough shooter, wildfowler market. Quite light, matte barrels, quite a modern engraving pattern on there as well. Crackshot, I've got literally a mixed bag today. Just finishing off a slab of Lyle Vale 32 gram 5s. It was good, yeah. Off to a better start than I thought it would be. 3 nice pheasants. Quite a lot of cartridges on the floor. But yeah, no, really nice. Yeah, it's nice to be back out.
The shoot owner, Stephen Hunter, is running the day.
My parents bought the farm for the shooting, which had cows on it as well. Since then, cows have gone, sheep are in, and we started off with a family shoot, which sold a day to cover some bills, sold another day, and basically we went full commercial eventually, which is where we are now. This was verging on being my last years of doing it, because it shouldn't be that hard to sell day shooting. But after taking my son in this year to do all the keeping, he's the one that's been all over social media. It's now grown arms and legs, so we're going bigger next year. Guys come up from Norfolk, take videos, take pictures, go down, show their pals. Next thing, you've got them trying to book days with you. When my dad was around, we planted a lot of trees, and that's now coming into fruition. So you're getting the use of that. But you're always trying to make another drive, so that the guns coming, repeat guns don't see the same bit, which is what you would like. Not always possible. We've been changing the gun stands for the past few years to try and make the best of the trees and the wee gullies that we have, and get a bit more snap shooting rather than seeing birds coming from 300 yards away. I like shooting it. I don't shoot it very much, but no, I've got it finally to a height and a quantity that we can happily sell days, and it's a nice relaxed shoot. It's very family orientated for us.
That was fabulous, yeah. Really enjoyed that one. A lot more opportunities on this one than the last, even though we were on the last peg. Yeah, got some lovely pheasants. Yeah. May have stolen one from the neighbour, but she let me off. So, yeah, but no, really nice. And I mean, the view's just spectacular. Yeah, so if this is a taste of what's to come for this afternoon, I think it's going to be really good.
After 11s, the next drive is on the lower ground, and this time Elliot is in the middle of the line.
I've got a couple of really nice ones, and missed a couple of really nice ones as well. So yeah, but it's nice to be slightly open like this and seeing some of the other guns getting some good shots in as well. So yeah, no, it was good.
For the fourth and final drive, Elliot is on a track beside one of the release pens, with the beaters going through the cover on the hillside in front.
Wow.
He has certainly got the feel of the 525, bringing down some lovely high birds.
There we go. Is this sheep stuck? Look. Oh, there we go. Thank you. That was really good. Yeah. The other drives was like, that was really good, but that was really good. Yeah, really enjoyed that. Really nice birds. Yeah. I'm just gutted it's over. Yeah, you kept thinking it was just about finished, and then there's just more and more coming out, so yeah.
happy.
The gun has a heritage going back more than 50 years to the early 1970s, when Browning brought out a budget version of its superposed model. Elliot likes it, and he has discovered a couple of interesting details. There's a John Moses Browning signature moulded into the forend. The 525 evolved from the great gunmaker's last designs in the 1920s, and the coordinates of Browning's Belgian headquarters are engraved on the forend catch. Not that Elliot is likely to lose his new gun. You can follow Elliot on Instagram and find Tilly Lair Sporting on Guns on Pegs. Links below. And for details of the new Browning B525 Composite, go to browning.eu. Thanks, Elliot, and James for filming it. Now, if you are near North Cambridgeshire on Friday the 9th of February 2024 or Solihull on Thursday the 15th of February, we have 2 Fieldsports Lives coming up. They are my chance to stand on a stage and tell you the story of Fieldsports Channel, plus what we're planning to do next. They're a couple of hours long, they're free to Fieldsports members and a tenner to viewers, which you get back if you join up on the night. Fieldsports members just need to drop me an email to say that they and their guests are coming. Links for more details and to buy tickets below. Next up, last week Ian Hodge compared PCPs, the FX Crown versus the BSA R12. This week James Head from Crackshot is doing the same. Weihrauch versus Air Arms.
I've got a Weihrauch HW100 and I've got an Air Arms S510. These are our 2 top-selling hunting air rifles. The HW100 is a very popular choice, very good construction, steel action, 14-shot magazine, and it's already silenced. They come in various different lengths as well, so it's very user buildable. You can choose whichever you like. Nice and quiet, and there's really, really good triggers on these. The Air Arms S510, again, very good built, well built gun. They're very similar price points. The side lever is what makes them the most popular of the 2. Very easy to use for all manner of different people, whether they're young shooters, whether they're old shooters. Anyone can use these with ease. I would say the Weihrauch it's a little bit heavier, so it probably suits someone like myself. I'm a lot bigger. I find I need just that little bit of extra weight when I'm using the rifle. The 510 is a lot lighter, so it will suit someone who doesn't want to be carrying something around for hours. If you're going to do a lot of walking around shooting, the 510 is probably a slightly better option with that weight. So Weihrauch for the farmyard and the S510 for the farm. I would normally use a 177, but I have been playing a lot more recently with the 2.2s. And actually, if I was making that choice now, I would choose the 2.2. So we've got a side lever cocking on the side of the rifle. So on the 510, it's not spring loaded to come back, and you do manually have to open it to bring it back to cock it. Whereas on the HW100, it's just it is spring loaded, so it will come all the way back. Very simple to cock, very simple to go forward. I've got a bit of a soft spot for the HW100. So on the S510, it doesn't come as standard with the moderator. You have got a shrouded barrel, so it will take a little bit of the bark down, but it's not as quiet as what the 100 will be. However, the 510 is cheaper, so if you factor in a silencer with the S510, it takes you to the same price as the HW100. So the actual servicing of the guns, possibly the Air Arms, you would say slightly easier. I can personally do both very quickly, very simply, and they are very straightforward guns. So in terms of servicing and maintenance, they're both very simple.
For Crackshot's full range, go to crackshot.uk. Thank you, James. Now from kit to the wider world of hunting and shooting on YouTube, brought to you by James Marchington, it's Hunting YouTube.
Well, there's an interesting variety of hunting and shooting videos appeared on YouTube this week. Here's my pick of the ones that caught my eye. First up, a clinical predator control operation by the guys at O'Neill Ops. They're protecting the calves on a neighbour's feedlot, shooting 3 coyotes with a single volley. Kendall Gray is having trouble with predators too. A mystery animal is killing his chickens, and he tries a variety of traps and trail cameras before finally catching the culprit. Now here's a surprise from the Guardian newspaper. It's not known for supporting hunting, but this film takes a serious look at the work of the Country Food Trust, supplying wild venison to food banks around the country. The comments are very positive too. More stalking, this one with Chef Mike Robinson, who's out in a remote part of the Cotswolds harvesting fallow deer, demonstrating the equipment, the stalk and carcass recovery. Next, here's Chris Parkin with a typically thorough review of the latest version of a classic 2.2 rimfire, the CZ457 stainless with camouflage synthetic stock. Johnny Carter from TGS Outdoors meets up with the legendary George Digweed at Barbary Shooting School to try out the latest red dot shotgun sight from Aimpoint, the Acro S2, and get some bonus shooting tips from the master. Ulster Outdoors and Field Sports is out on Loch Nay, duck shooting from a hide with his labs Ted and Buster. Some lovely footage, and he's upped his game on the audio for this film too. Finally, over to Tuscany, and this is a roundup from the female gamekeeper of her first year as an underkeeper, with some glorious shots of pheasants leaving the roost at dawn. Well, that's it for this week. I've put all these films into a playlist for you. Click on the eye symbol top right or check this film's description. If you have a YouTube film you'd like us to pop into the weekly top 8, email me the link, jamesm@fieldsportschannel.tv.
Well, that's it for this week. If you haven't done so already, please whiz over to our website, fieldsportschannel.tv. You can click to like us there on Facebook and on Instagram. You can follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, pop your email address into our register page, and we'll contact you about this show. Fieldsports Britain is at 7 p.m. UK time every Wednesday. And this has been Fieldsports Britain. Good hunting, good shooting, good fishing, and goodbye.